Have you ever wondered what truly matters after 75? It's not success, not money, not approval. It's something much quieter and far more important. No one tells you this when you're in your 60s. We spend most of our lives working hard, caring for others, and doing what had to be done. But after 75, life changes. Quietly, but completely. And if we're not ready for it, we often arrive feeling tired, lonely, or lost. This video is about preparing for that season, and choosing how you want to live, from the inside out. Life after 75 isn't just more of the same. It's an entirely different chapter. And if we don't prepare our mindset for it early, we may find ourselves arriving too late, too tired to enjoy it, too disconnected to fully live it. By the time we reach 80, we're no longer chasing titles or certificates. We're not proving anything to anyone. What we truly crave is peace. Peace from pain, peace from loneliness, peace with our past, our bodies, and our stories. And most importantly, peace within ourselves. But here's the mistake most people make. They only start searching for peace when their body is already breaking down, when walking becomes harder, when memory begins to fade, when the people they love grow distant or pass on. The truth is, we should begin preparing for peace while we're still strong enough to choose it. Just like we studied hard in our 20s to earn a living, we must now study how to live with joy so that we don't just grow older, we grow wiser. And that journey begins with one word: awareness. Because when you're aware, truly aware, of the life you want to live after 75, you start making different choices today. You start saying yes to health and no to habits that drain you. You start moving, connecting, and living with deeper intention. And none of this happens by accident. Every outcome in life begins with small, daily actions. A 10-minute walk, a healthier breakfast, a phone call to someone you love, a decision to forgive. These moments don't feel big, but repeated over time, they build the life we dream of. If you don't decide what you want life to feel like after 75, life will decide for you. So today, we're going to talk about one quiet habit that separates those who thrive after 75 from those who slowly fade. We'll share real stories, offer simple, natural steps, no prescriptions needed, and show you how just a few small shifts can change everything. Because the truth is, this final chapter of life doesn't have to be about decline. It can be the most peaceful, meaningful, and beautiful chapter yet. And it starts with what you choose today. Why so many elders don't make it past 75? Updated. If you ask most people why elders start declining after 75, you'll hear things like, well, it's just age, or the body wears out. That's natural. But here's the surprising truth. It's not really old age that takes most people down. It's something else, something quieter, something that starts much earlier and builds slowly over time. The real reason many don't live past 75 is this: they stop adjusting, they stop growing, they stop listening to what their body, mind, and spirit are asking for in this new season of life. But let's go deeper. Why do people stop adjusting in the first place? Because no one ever taught us how to live intentionally. Most of us were never raised with a clear picture of what a fulfilling life actually looks like. We didn't start life asking,
what does peace look like at 80? What kind of body and mind do I want to have in my later years?
Instead, we started with the question,
how do I make money?
And once we start chasing money, out of necessity, fear, or pride, the rest of life gets put on hold. Health becomes a background concern. Relationships are managed, not nurtured. Joy becomes something we fit in when there's time. And those choices, the ones we repeat every day, become our default habits. By the time we reach 70, the consequences of those habits show up. A body that's tired, a mind that's scattered, a heart that wonders, is this all there is? But none of this happens overnight. It's not aging, it's accumulation. The gradual buildup of neglect, misalignment, and a lack of conscious living. Take George, for example. At 72, he was proud of his successful business. But within a year of retiring, everything changed. He stopped waking up early. He stopped walking, talking, engaging.
I thought I earned the right to rest,
he said.
But rest without purpose, that's when I started fading.
This isn't rare. It's what happens when life has been built only around survival, not meaning. So if you're watching this and thinking maybe this is just what happens when you get older, let me offer you another thought. Yes, aging is natural, But decline is optional. The body ages, but the spirit, it grows or shrinks depending on what you feed it. And the good news is, you get to choose. In the next part, we'll talk about one silent, less everyday habit that quietly accelerates decline, and how a small change in routine, just 15 minutes a day, can begin rewriting your story after 65. The silent habit that speeds up aging. Think about it for a moment. What if there's a quiet habit that's making you, and all of us, age faster every single day? And it's not smoking, overeating, or illness. Would you recognize it? It's something much simpler, more common, and it often feels innocent, even deserved. It's the habit of passively waiting, waiting for the next doctor's appointment, waiting for the grandkids to visit, waiting for the day to pass, waiting for life to get better on its own. This habit is subtle, but it's also dangerous, because when we stop creating our days and start just surviving them, the decline begins. Let's be honest. After 65, many of us feel like we've earned the right to rest. We've worked hard, we've given so much to others, and now we want to just be. That's completely valid. But here's the trap. Rest is beautiful until it becomes inertia. When we stop having reasons to move, we stop moving. When we stop having goals, the mind begins to fade. When our calendar is empty, so is our spirit. And no, it doesn't have to be some grand purpose. We're not talking about starting a business or running a marathon. We're talking about a reason to get up every morning that comes from within. Take Miss Eileen, for example. She retired at 66 after 40 years as a school teacher. At first, she was thrilled, sleeping in, watching TV, no responsibilities. But 6 months in, her daughter noticed something.
She started forgetting things. She stopped calling. She looked lost.
So they did something simple. They gave her a daily task, read to her grandson over video chat, just 15 minutes a day. That small act, it gave her back her voice, her rhythm, her joy. She found purpose not in doing more, but in being needed, being present, being connected. Here's the truth no one tells you. The body slows down only when the soul stops asking for more. We don't age because we rest. We age because we disconnect from meaning, because we stop participating in the life we still have. So if you find yourself drifting, just passing time, we invite you to pause for a moment and ask yourself,
what am I waiting for? What tiny thing could I create today that brings me back to life?
It might be planting a seed, writing a letter, calling an old friend, or simply preparing a meal with care for yourself, because every single day is a vote for decline, or a vote for vitality. In the next part, we'll explore the everyday habits that quietly steal your strength, especially after 65, and how changing just one or two of them can radically shift your energy, your balance, and even your memory. Stay with me. You're doing something powerful just by watching this. The everyday habits that quietly drain you. Not all damage shows up with a bang. Sometimes it arrives quietly, in the form of small habits that feel normal, but over time chip away at your strength, your mood, and your will to live fully. Let's talk about them. 1. Skipping breakfast or eating poorly in the morning. You may think, I'm not that hungry in the morning. But here's the truth. After fasting all night, your body is waiting for fuel, especially your brain. Seniors who skip breakfast regularly are at higher risk of fatigue, falls, and even memory loss. And when they do eat, it's often toast with jam or cereal with sugar. That's not fuel. That's a crash waiting to happen. Try this instead. Start your day with a boiled egg, half a banana, or a spoonful of peanut butter on whole grain toast. Simple, nourishing, brain-friendly. 2. Sitting too long without moving. This one is huge. Research shows that sitting more than 6 hours a day is linked to heart problems, poor circulation, and muscle loss, especially in the legs. And yet, many seniors watch TV, read, or nap, all in one place. It's not about exercising, it's about interrupting stillness. Every hour, just stand up, walk to the window, stretch your arms, bend your knees slightly. These tiny movements remind your body that you're still here, still alive, still participating. Number 3, overexposure to negativity. Let's face it, many seniors spend hours watching the news. And what is the news mostly? Crisis, fear, loss, conflict. This constant stream of stress hormones like cortisol affects not just your mind, but your heart, digestion, and sleep. Staying informed is fine, but drowning in drama? That's toxic. Try this. After 20 minutes of news, turn on music you love, or go outside, or listen to a motivational story. Your spirit needs as much nourishment as your stomach. 4. Lack of social engagement. Loneliness isn't just sad, it's deadly. The CDC reports that social isolation is associated with a 50% increased risk of dementia. And yet, many older adults say, I don't want to bother anyone. But staying silent, hiding your needs, pretending you're fine, that's not strength. That's slow withdrawal from life. Start small. One phone call, one message, one smile to your neighbor. That's enough to shift your chemistry, literally. Human connection produces oxytocin, the hormone of trust and calm. These aren't just bad habits, they're quiet energy leaks, and unless we catch them, they become patterns. Patterns become identity, and identity becomes destiny. In the next part, we'll shift from what drains you to what builds you, starting with one of the most powerful tools for long life and emotional strength, movement. But not the way you think. Movement as medicine, even if you're in pain. Movement isn't just about fitness, it's about freedom. The freedom to get out of bed on your own. The freedom to take a walk when the sun is just right. The freedom to say yes to invitations instead of declining because your knees hurt. And here's the good news. You don't have to run, sweat, or suffer to reclaim that freedom. The body doesn't need punishment. It just needs gentle reminders that it still belongs to this world. And the best reminder? Movement, in any form. Let's talk about what that really looks like. Margaret, 78, used to say,
I can't exercise. My joints ache. I have arthritis in both knees.
but her doctor said something that changed everything.
Don't exercise, just move like you love yourself.
So she began with simple things, standing up and sitting down 5 times every morning, walking from one room to the next, slowly, with music playing, stretching her arms while waiting for the kettle to boil. She didn't call it exercise, she called it body kindness. And over time, her legs felt stronger, her balance improved, she smiled more, because she felt more alive. Here's what the science says. Just 15 minutes of gentle movement per day can improve circulation, strengthen muscles, reduce risk of falls, boost mood and memory, ease joint stiffness and chronic pain. And you don't need special equipment. You already have everything you need: your body, your breath, and a few quiet minutes. Need ideas to start? March in place during TV commercials. Gently swing your arms while seated. Balance on one foot while brushing your teeth. Do 5 slow neck rolls before bed. These small acts send signals to the brain. I still want to move. I still want to be here. And the body listens. Most importantly, movement is not just about adding years to your life. It's about adding life to your years. So today, let your body hear this message. I haven't given up on you. Because even if you're in pain, even if you've been still for too long, it's never too late to begin again, one step at a time. In the next part, we'll look at another source of strength that's often forgotten: the power of connection. How human contact, even just one conversation a day, can light up the brain, lift your mood, and give your soul a reason to keep showing up. The strength in staying connected. Some people think that growing older means growing lonelier, but that's not the truth. Loneliness isn't a requirement of aging. It's simply a sign that connection is waiting to be rebuilt. Here's something beautiful. Just one meaningful conversation a day, even 5 minutes with someone who listens, can improve memory, lower blood pressure, and ease symptoms of depression. Why? Because we're not designed to go through life or old age alone, but many older adults hold back. They say things like,
I don't want to bother anyone. Everyone's busy now. No one wants to hear an old person talk.
but none of that is true. People need your stories, your perspective, your calm, the way you've seen the world change and stayed standing. You are not a burden. You are a bridge. Let me share the story of Frank, 80 years old. After his wife passed away, he hardly left the house. He stopped calling his friends. He said,
What's the point? I've already had the best years of my life.
then his granddaughter gave him a journal and said,
Can you write one story from your life each week? I want to know who you were before you were grandpa.
food that nourishes your future food is more than fuel. It's memory, it's love, it's care, one bite at a time. And at this stage of life, food is also a message we send to our body. I still want to be here. You still matter. Let's keep going. The goal isn't perfection. You don't need to count calories, Give up every favorite dish or turn your kitchen into a clinic. What you need is nourishment with intention, meals that support your health and future, while still bringing joy to the table. Let's talk about a few simple, powerful changes that make a big difference without feeling like punishment. 1. Eat for color and comfort. A colorful plate is usually a healthy plate. Try to include something green, something orange or red, and something soft and warm. For example, steamed broccoli, roasted sweet potato, a warm bowl of oatmeal with cinnamon. Comfort doesn't mean processed. It means familiar, easy to digest, and gentle on the body. 2. Reduce sugar slowly, not suddenly. You don't have to quit sugar overnight. Start by swapping soda for water with lemon, or replace cookies with fruit and a handful of nuts. These small shifts lower inflammation, protect your memory, and support stable energy throughout the day. Your brain will thank you. 3. Include longevity foods that don't cost a fortune. Oats support heart health and digestion. Beans, great source of protein and fiber. Garlic helps control blood pressure. Sardines or salmon, packed with omega-3s for brain and joints. Turmeric, natural anti-inflammatory. You don't need fancy superfoods, just real food, simple ingredients, cooked with care. Here's a story. Mr. Davis, 76, used to live on takeout. Microwave meals, instant noodles, soda. After a health scare, he made one change. He started cooking one homemade meal a day, even if it was just soup with vegetables. 6 months later, his blood pressure dropped. He lost 12 pounds without dieting, and most importantly, he felt proud every time he sat down to eat something he made. Food is not just about living longer. It's about feeling good in your body while you're still here. Clearer thoughts, better sleep, less pain, and there's no age limit on changing how we eat. You can start with your next meal. Even choosing to sit down, eat slowly, and truly enjoy your food, that's an act of self-care. That's how we feed not just our bodies, but our future. In the next part, we'll talk about something most people overlook, the emotional weight we carry, and how releasing it can lighten our body, mind, and spirit. Because sometimes, what's aging us isn't in our food, it's in our heart. Releasing emotional weight. Sometimes what weighs us down the most isn't our age, isn't our body, it's the things we never got to say, the pain we tucked away, the regrets we carried for years quietly in the corners of our hearts. As we grow older, our bodies may slow down, but our memories don't. They come back stronger, louder, especially the ones we thought we had already buried. The truth is, many people walk into their 70s and 80s still holding guilt over something they said, shame for something they did, resentment towards someone who never apologized, or heartbreak for someone they lost too soon. And here's the most important part. This emotional weight affects your physical health. Science shows that chronic stress, grief, and anger weaken the immune system, raise blood pressure, and slow healing. But the good news is, you don't have to carry it forever. You get to choose what you release. Take Linda, 75. She hadn't spoken to her sister in 12 years. Both were stubborn. Both had pride. But one morning, Linda woke up with chest pain. At the hospital, the doctor said it was stress-related. On the ride home, she whispered,
I don't want to die angry.
That afternoon, she picked up the phone. There were tears. There were apologies. And in the weeks that followed, her sleep improved, her blood pressure dropped, and her heart felt lighter in every way. You see, forgiveness isn't a gift for the other person. It's a gift for yourself. It's the permission to breathe again, to rest, to move forward without the weight of yesterday. And forgiveness doesn't always require a conversation. Sometimes it starts with writing a letter you never send. Sometimes it's looking at an old photo and saying, I release you, and I release myself. You are not your past. You are not your worst moment. And you are never too old to heal. Healing doesn't mean forgetting. It means making peace with what was, so you can fully live what's left. And if the emotions feel too tangled to untie right away, you can simply sit and breathe. Just 5 minutes of quiet stillness, with your eyes closed and your hand on your heart, can begin to calm the storm inside. That's called meditation, but you don't have to call it anything fancy. You can simply call it listening to myself, returning home to my heart, letting go. And if you're open to exploring deeper, there's a powerful 10-day meditation course called Vipassana, a practice of silent observation that helps you see things as they really are. No talking, no phones, just you, your breath, and the truth inside you. Many people, even at age 70 or 80, have walked into those 10 days feeling heavy and walked out with a new kind of lightness. You don't need to believe in anything, just a willingness to sit and listen deeply. You can find out more online if that calls to you. So tonight, if your heart feels heavy, ask gently, what am I still carrying that no longer belongs? And then, without judgment, let it go, through a breath, through a prayer, through a few quiet moments of stillness. You've carried enough. You've done your best. Now it's time to feel light again. The gentle power of living with intention. You're here, at the end of this journey, and maybe it didn't feel like a lesson. Maybe it felt more like a quiet conversation, one that's been waiting to happen for a very long time. Because here's the truth that few people say out loud. Growing old is not the end. It's simply a different kind of beginning. A beginning where you no longer need to prove anything, where you can simply be, fully, honestly, peacefully. It's not about rushing anymore. It's about slowing down and remembering what truly matters. Not about adding more, but about feeling lighter, inside and out. From here, the path is yours to choose. But if you remember only one thing from everything we've shared today, let it be this. Small actions, done with love and intention, create a meaningful life. Not someday, but starting today. Every time you nourish yourself with a kind meal, move your body gently, reach out to someone you care about, or sit quietly and forgive, even a little. You are rewriting your story. You are giving yourself permission to live on your own terms. And if you've spent most of your life putting others first, maybe now it's time to return to yourself. No one taught us how to age well. No one handed us a guide on how to wake up at 75 and still feel excited for the day ahead. But that doesn't mean it's too late to learn. You still get to write this chapter the way you want. You can make peace, begin again, laugh freely, love gently, deeply, and fully. And on the days that feel quiet, when the phone doesn't ring, when your bones feel heavy and your memories speak louder than usual, place your hand on your chest and remind yourself, I am still here. I still matter. I still get to choose how I live. And that, dear friend, is the kind of power no wrinkle, no number, no year can ever take away. If this message touched something inside you today, feel free to share what it means to you in the comments below. You can simply write a number. 1, if you feel more hopeful. 2, if you're letting go of something heavy. 3, if you're ready to begin again, even with something small. Because when you share, someone else might feel a little less alone. And together, we remember what it means to be human, at every age. Thank you for spending this time with me. We'll meet again in the next video. Until then, take good care of yourself, because you are, and have always been, worth it.